For more on this, let's go to William Risch, who joins us from Atlanta. He's an associate professor at Georgia College and the author of a book on Ukraine. Mr. Risch, so let's talk about this meeting tonight at the UN Security Council. What do you think Russia will tell the council?
I think really this is about Russia wanting to propose a federalization of Ukraine. In other words, turning it into a sort of federal system of government or a confederation of states based on regions, with the southeast being sort of its own region separate from the rest of Ukraine. I think this is very disturbing. It's an attempt to federalize another country at the point of a gun, because it is quite clear that in places like Sloviansk, Russian forces have instigated the conflict.
So do you think tonight's session is just about listening to what Russia has to say, or do you expect any concrete action from the Security Council tonight?
I really doubt that there will be concrete action. I am hoping that the People's Republic of China, which is a member of the Security Council, will abide by what it has said in the past, and that is that Ukraine's territorial integrity must be honored, and that included Crimea. And I'm hoping that the People's Republic of China will stand up for this. The problem, of course, is that Russia will block any major decisions that would be unfavorable to Russia. So I think this is a chance, perhaps for the United States and for other powers, to put pressure on Russia. But unfortunately, I don't see very much coming out of this, and I do really fear that we're going to have a war tomorrow.
A war tomorrow?
Well, at least if you live in Donetsk, if you live in Sloviansk, it's already war.
So do you think this is a war between two nations, or do you think it's an internal conflict, a civil war?
It's 50-50, because I translate for a Facebook network called Euromaidan News in English, and one Ukrainian activist I translated for, he mentioned that in Sloviansk there were many people affected by Russian propaganda, locals who were joining in, defending these buildings that had been occupied, but behind them stood well-armed men with grenade launchers, machine guns, and automatic rifles, and those were Russian professionals. The reporter said, well, the activist said, it's pretty clear that the people from the Chief Intelligence Operations Division of the Russian Armed Forces were there.
So you firmly believe Russia is behind this?
Oh, absolutely. The problem is, and this is the gray matter, is that there are some locals disaffected who have been willing to join them. That is true. But when you look at opinion polls, for example, for Donetsk region, 67% feel that they belong to Ukraine. The problem is that 20% that may have pro-Russian separatist sympathies. And that's where the Ukrainian state has to step in, and the pro-Ukrainian elements in society there, they have to step up to the plate, or else we're going to have real trouble.
Are you surprised we're seeing this type of thing in 2014?
Well, 6 months ago, I would not have predicted this. And I was in Donetsk from January the 6th until about the 17th. And it was peaceful. It was a lovely city. The people come from different backgrounds, not all of them Ukrainian. Many of them very friendly toward Kiev, but also towards the West. Many who are pro-Russian in their sympathies, but they got along. And to see that community come apart has been very disturbing.
So this is very much a region deeply divided. Where do we go from here? Yes. What needs to happen as far as the international community is concerned to stop an all-out war?
Well, my hope is that the United States, together with the People's Republic of China and other great powers, can compel the Russians to withdraw their forces, and any forces, frankly, well, in my opinion, from Crimea as well. Crimea, for me, is on the table, and for Ukrainians, it still is too. And I would see constitutional reform for Ukraine, but not at the pressure of a gun.
And what happens if that doesn't work?
I fear we're going to have very bloody times in eastern and southern Ukraine, especially eastern Ukraine, unfortunately.
All right. Well,
the chances are very high.
Thank you very much, William Risch. Hate to leave it on that note. We appreciate your thoughts, your perspective. He joins us from Atlanta, from Georgia College, and he, of course, wrote a book on Ukraine as well.